Hello, welcome to my Eastenders review. Sorry I've been away. I know that's very rude of me after I just got 4 subscribers and then just going off for 3 weeks. But yeah, basically I went away to the seaside for about a week or so, and then I got back on a Friday, and then the next day was a Saturday, but I was just too tired. I don't cope well being away from home, so I really just needed that day to recover. But I'm back and I'm going to do my EastEnders review. It is probably going to be about the last 3 weeks because obviously I've not got all my thoughts out. I need these videos so much. If I don't make these, I've just been talking to my mum, telling her all my thoughts about EastEnders, and she's just like, okay. So I need to get my thoughts out. It's been a nightmare not making these videos. First character I want to talk about is Suki, because she is just amazing. I think the Panisars are the best thing that's happened to EastEnders in these last few years. I just think they're absolutely brilliant. They add so much to the show, and Suki, she's just the perfect villain because yes, she's evil, but you know, you can still like her as a character. Every scene she's in is brilliant, and yeah, she's sort of evil, but how do I say this? She's not done anything too bad. Like, for example, if someone said, oh yeah, my favourite character's Grey, you'd just be like, what is wrong with you? But with Suki, yes, she's evil, but she's not too evil that you can't like her as a character. I feel every scene with Grey, I just get really uncomfortable. I'm just like, oh god, can you just leave? I hate him. But with Suki, I'm kind of like, you know, she's a little bit of a girl boss, do you know what I mean? So I think this was the week before last, I can't really remember. You sort of got to see her vulnerable side a little bit, and when she was trying to get the money to save Jags, she went to Phil and asked him for a loan, and yeah, like, you really saw her struggling with that, and Phil sort of having the upper hand over her. I'm in two minds about this because I do like to see Suki's more vulnerable side, because we've not seen a lot of that, and I think it adds more depth to her character, so it's great to see. But, like, why did it have to be Phil, of all people? Like, oh, the great Mitchell's still got to have the upper hand even though this ultimate girl boss is in town. I definitely preferred it a little bit when Ash was saying things to Suki. This was a long time ago now, and you got to see her vulnerable side then, because that's sort of within the family. But when it was between Phil and Suki, I was kind of just like, oh, here we go, the Mitchells being... No disrespect to the Mitchells, obviously they're a very iconic family, I've got a lot of love for them, but I do kind of want the Panisars to knock them down a peg or two, because I think, you know, the Mitchells are always going to be iconic, but we have got to pave the way for this new family, which are amazing, let's face it. And seeing this vulnerable side, it's just added more depth. I've always loved her, but this just makes me love her even more. They need to use her even more. They need to use the Panisars more. I want the Panisars to have a big storyline. It was just beautiful to see her sort of admit that she was wrong and be like, you look, I regret what we did with Jags. They need to really do a big storyline with the Panisars, because they've already got a bit of a storyline, but I need more. So now on to the Carters. Linda's pregnant, Nancy found out. I mean, it's fine, it's a bog standard storyline, a one night stand with someone, she gets pregnant, it disrupts the family, blah blah blah. It's fine for filler, I guess. It's not really the most groundbreaking storyline at the moment, and that's okay. You've got to have some stuff going on in the background sometimes. I really like the Carters' scenes. I think they're all good characters in their own right, and they all work well together. So I enjoy the scenes, but the storyline as a whole, it's okay. It's just a little bit boring. I was surprised that Nancy didn't kick off about the baby being Max's. So yeah, she just sort of seemed to guess that straight away. She was like, oh wow, we're going to have a new member of the family, that's amazing. And then she just sort of looked at Linda's face and was like, oh, it's not Dad's, is it? I don't know how she figured that out so quickly, but, you know, she did it. She's an intuitive woman, that Nancy. Right, so now on to Mila's storyline. Sorry if it seems like I'm rushing through, it's just I've got 3 weeks to catch up on and I don't want this video being too long because I hate long YouTube videos. Anything over 10 minutes is unacceptable. But yeah, Mila. So obviously this is going to be about FGM, so if you find this hard to listen to, then there's timestamps in the description, so you can skip that if you want to, that's fine. Like, it's just an EastEnders review, like, don't put yourself through it if you don't want to. So when Keone said to Mila that she was going away to see this aunt, and then you saw Mila's reaction, like her face was just sort of dropped, I was wondering if they were going to do an FGM storyline, and I was like, gosh, I don't know, I don't think a soap's ever done something like this before, I don't know if they would. But then the next day, it was revealed that that was going to be the storyline. And I'm glad they're doing this storyline because it's something that more people need to know about. I was a little bit concerned at first because I think EastEnders at the moment with the current producers, they've got a little bit of a bad reputation when it comes to doing issue-based storylines. But if you really think about it, they've not been too bad. The only one that they've really severely messed up is the domestic violence storyline. And it just sort of sticks out because it's still going on to this day. You know, Grey's still going about, it's still very uncomfortable to watch and it's not really been done justice. But apart from that, the issue-based storylines that they've been doing, they've not been horrendous. So I do think this storyline is going to be okay, and it has been good so far in my opinion. The only reason I know about FGM and saw this storyline coming is because a few years ago at school, I've left school now obviously, but this was in 6th form, so about 4 years ago I think. We had a whole day off lessons and we had an FGM awareness day, and that was honestly the first time I've heard of it and the last. Like, I've not really ever seen anything in it in the media, on TV shows. It's just sort of, it is like very uncomfortable to talk about, so people just sort of don't. But then if people don't know about it, then they can't really prevent it. So on this day at school we were literally taught like the signs. If someone's of this age and they talk about going away to see an auntie, then it could be that. And I know adults who literally had never heard of it in their lives until like the age of 35 and stuff. So yeah, this is potentially going to raise a lot of awareness, which, you know, no matter how the storyline goes, I think raising awareness can't be a bad thing. So yeah, I'm really glad they're doing this. I think the actress who plays Mila is just phenomenal. She's doing such a good job. I love the fact that Kathy is involved in it because she's been obviously in EastEnders for such a long time, so it's nice to have a sort of historical character involved in such an important storyline with new characters. I love that side of it. I also just love the way Mila was introduced into the show, because at first you thought she was going to be a background character like Tracy, because she just sort of got a job at the bar and then was kind of in the background for a bit, but she's really come to the forefront and now she's the main character of one of the most important storylines in the show. So I love that about her. I'm going to move on now. Sorry if it seems like I'm rushing through this, but I've just got to get through each storyline. So Mo, Jean and Zack this week. Oh, I loved it. I thought Mo's exit was lovely. How she went away in the car. I think that's that character leaving now. Jean at the moment is hiding her cancer from everyone, all her friends and family. No one knows about it. She doesn't want them to change their plan. Yeah, probably never going to see Stacey again, never going to see Mo again, and none of them realise. These storylines surrounding Jean seem to be light-hearted, but as a viewer we know that there's a really sad layer to it underneath. I also thought the scenes with Jean and Zack were really fun this week. I like seeing this side to Zack. When he was first brought into the show I thought, oh, what a great character, and then he went through this phase where, oh, he's just one of these male characters who goes on shagging loads of women. We've already got like an annoying character like that. That's sort of Pete. I mean, I don't know if that's what he does, but Peter sort of has that role of the annoying lad. We don't need another one. But I think Zack should just keep going for lunch with Jean, and he'll stay in my good books because he's a fun character for the most part. But yeah, he got a bit annoying a couple of weeks ago. He's okay now. I just thought it was so funny when Jean said, I don't want to be a drug lord. Like, EastEnders is just unmissable at the moment. What, that was so good. So yeah, Jean has got a cannabis, I don't know what you'd call it, factory. Let's call it a factory. She's got a cannabis factory in her garage that she doesn't want, so she's called upon Zack to help her get rid of it. Yesterday's episode, she turned off all the lights, so she's just going to let the cannabis die. It was all very dramatic, just for, you know, turning off some lights, but I don't know, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next, because it's just fun having Zack and Jean together. I never really thought I'd see those two characters being best buds, but they are, and I'm here for it. Moving on again, Sharon and Kheerat. I love this pairing. I'm good for Sharon for bagging such a handsome man, and good for Kheerat for, you know, getting one of the most iconic characters in the show. I think they deserve each other. They're both brilliant characters. So the scene yesterday we're in the cafe with Ben, Kheerat and Sharon, I thought that was going to cause a little bit of drama. So we know that Kheerat has to keep Ben on side in order to keep Jags safe, but Ben and Sharon don't get on. So I thought that Sharon was going to go to Kheerat afterwards and be like, why aren't you sticking up for me? Ben was just horrible to me and you're just there sat with him. You should be sticking up for me, blah blah blah. But she just didn't give a shit. She was like, oh, thanks for checking on me when he, you know, because he went to check on her afterwards. Yeah, she just didn't care. I thought that would have been an interesting little bit of conflict. A little bit of a moral maze for Kheerat, you know, wanting to respect Sharon and stick up for her, but also needing to keep Ben on the side in order to save Jags. Maybe something like that will come up again. I hope it does, because I think that would have been interesting. And I love how all these characters and all these storylines are sort of intertwined at the moment. Like, everything's, a lot of it is linked together. That's how it should be on a soap, in my opinion. Speaking of Ben, this was only yesterday, so it's still fresh in my mind. He was being a little bit weird. Callum was just having a coffee with his new work best friend, FITZY. I love FITZY. I don't know what it is about him. He only had a few lines this week, but oh, I'm obsessed. I know there is going to be a storyline for Callum coming up, because I did watch a few spoilers this week. I usually try and avoid them, but I just watched them. Something is going to happen to FITZY. I'm not going to go into spoilers because this is a review. I don't really think I should be talking about spoilers in a review. I might do a separate video for predictions. I'm a big fan of FITZY. I don't know why he needed to make that comment about Ben's weight though. I feel like a lot of characters are doing that at the moment. Vi did it. And now FITZY, I can't remember if there are any others, but yeah, he was like all skinny cappuccino, and I'm just like, Ben's not even fat, like he's skinny, but for some reason everyone's just making fun of him. Like, yeah, he's gained a little bit of weight. I just wonder, like, how does the actor feel about this? I don't know why the characters keep doing this, and like, this is the second. I thought maybe if it was a one-off, then okay, whatever, it's just a funny thing. But no, it's happened again. Is this gonna come up in a storyline or something? I don't know. It seems really weird. They should just not do that, because it's just, I don't find it funny. I feel like I was gonna make a point there, but I lost my train of thought. But basically, Callum's got a storyline coming up. I love FITZY, and everyone needs to shut up about Ben's weight. I am going to leave it there. Sorry if I've missed out any storylines. I just don't want this video to be super long. But thank you so much for watching. I'm so happy to be back making these videos, and I'll see you next week. Bye!